Back to doing business in Rwanda. Rwanda's services sector has been the economy's fastest, clocking in at 12% during 2012. The growth of the services sector has been possible by an average economic growth rate of more than 8% over the last 13 years. Today, the services sector in Rwanda contributes about 45% of the entire economy, overtaking agriculture, which stands at 33%. It also contributes more than 2/3 of the government income. The services sector tops the list with $62 million, followed by agriculture at $40 million, while tourism and manufacturing bring about $32 million and $24 million, respectively.
The government of Rwanda has been engaged in different strategy in how to promote those sectors. So we have the financial service center strategy, which is actually how Rwanda can become a financial hub, whereby we will attract sophisticated banking products, financial services, and serving the region, being a relay between Dubai and Mauritius. Now, on the logistics, we want to connect Rwanda to many destinations, whether by road or by air. So we invest a lot in storage facilities, special economic zone across the country. So that strategy is really to make Rwanda more linked than it is. Our national carrier is serving different destinations now, from Central Africa to West Africa. New markets are now open.
Within the services sector, wholesale and retail trade is the largest subsector, worth over Rwanda francs 80 billion and growing at 13.5% per annum since 2006. Fastest growing sectors, however, are transport and financial services.
All has been done. Our head of states, they have already cleared the way. What is remaining is we operators, we private sector, to follow what they have done. I think a lot has been done, and as you know, this is a social development business. So we can't go alone without having government on our side.
Financial hub, ICT and BPO, knowledge hub, medical tourism, diversifying the base of tourism, if I can say, going beyond gorillas, you know, and also in health sector. So I think these are the areas. Now, my own view is that it's difficult to be all things to all people. You will have to carve niches. You will have to specialize. And this is, I think, where policies and practices will have to be directed on creating competitive advantages in these sectors. How does Rwanda become a transport and logistic hub? What investment is required to overcome your disadvantage being a landlocked country and the cost of transportation being very high, or the cost of energy being very high? I think these are the challenges going forward. I think people realize, what needs to be done. It's just a question, of getting on and doing it, and ensuring, that you meet the objectives that have been set out in the Vision 2020.
The government of Rwanda is aiming at high growth domestic product growth, middle income status, and moving away from agriculture-based economy to a service-based, knowledge-based one by 2020. This is part of the medium-term strategy, also known as the Economic Development Poverty Reduction Strategy 2.
For us, it's an opportunity to explore what we do here in the country, and to see how we can attract more investors in this business. We need to open up our mind. We need also to see how we can be able to provide good services. As you know, Rwanda, it's a country which is building itself, and as we have heard, it has done a lot of achievement in terms of GDP. For the last, I think, couple of 5 years, we have been doing very well. And this GDP, when people, when you hear that there's a number of people, more than 1 million, who have just gone beyond of poverty reduction, that's a good signal that those are the people who need services. Those are people who need to attract more people also to invest in services and logistics as well.
There are so many things, whether it's legislation, enabling environment, addressing specifically the issues that are really too much for the private sector. For example, I mentioned the minister said that it would government would pay subsidies for, say, vocational training. When you take the health sector, if you're going to make big investments in the health sector in a poor country, you need to have some assurances from government that yes, you make this investment, we need this treatment, we will again provide some subsidies or provide some cover cost of treatment for a certain level of people. Because the pathologies there, that's never in doubt. And I think also on the training field, I think there's still a big challenge for Rwanda in terms of bringing up the level of expertise and professionalism, and that the government and private sector can work together in this, as we saw with this Kigali Independent University, which has grown, over the years to something very significant. So, with the right attitude, and one of the things I've been impressed with is the number of young people, young women actually, who are running things. I met one young woman yesterday, and she says, I'm in charge of the natural resources sector, but she's basically involved in the people who are coming in, mining and so on and so forth. And those sectors in many other countries some politician would have grabbed that and so on. You wouldn't have some young person. And so I really admire that. And so we do hope that, we do hope for good things for Rwanda.
The government of Rwanda looks at boosting the services sector as engine growth and is seen to be potential to provide more jobs than the agriculture sector.
The business environment must be the right one. You need to have the right regulatory and legal framework, and you need to invest in people, in infrastructure, and in technology. Obviously, there's competition. Let us be fair. There are many other countries, not only in our continent, but also outside our continent, who would like to play the same role. Mauritius would like to become a knowledge hub. Other countries in Africa would like to become an ICT hub. So what Rwanda needs to do is to build a unique set of competitive advantages that will make a compelling case to the outside investors to come and do business in your country.